Hello. So there's an experience that I've had and something that I've learned through running, which I think might be useful when I'm having more difficult days in terms of not drinking. So about over 10 years ago now, I did my first marathon, and the training for that, my first run, I wasn't in great shape before my first run, and I think I ran like 3 miles, and then basically every week I built up the distance by about 10% until the day of the marathon. And once my runs had got fairly long, once they'd become kind of the longest runs I'd ever done, I started to get this pain in my knee. And knee pain had been a thing that I'd kind of suffered with on and off for years. And I would get pain in my left knee. And then I would carry on running because I was just so bloody determined to do these runs. Then the pain would go away. And then I got the next week and the same thing had happened. The pain had come, it'd last for a little bit, and then it'd go away. And then I'd noticed that it would sometimes swap legs. Sometimes it would be, my right knee would be in pain. But what I started to notice was not just that you could kind of run through the pain, but I also noticed that the pain never came in both knees at once. And I was like, that's really weird. Why would the pain never come in both knees at once? Why would that be the case? And why would it be that I could carry on running and the pain would go away rather than just progressively getting worse and worse and worse, and then being really problematic? And by the way, I'm not suggesting that if you're running and you're having pain that you should just carry on running through. Sometimes that is the answer. Sometimes that is the very worst thing you can do. So don't read anything into this video if you're running. And then more recently, I did a run, and in my training, I was having the same thing, like pain, knee pain, and I was on a training run, and my knee started hurting, and I just said, quite loud, running down the street, I said, "No, I don't fucking think so. Fuck off. Fuck you, knee pain. No." And the pain just instantly went away, just like that. And then I ran 10 miles to get home. I was like, that's fucking weird. And that run was the last training run before a very difficult marathon run, a very hilly off-road trail marathon run. And I did the event, and about 7 miles into the event, I had the same thing. And I was surrounded by all these people on the event, but I just stopped and I just said, I don't fucking think so, fuck it off. And the pain just instantly went away. I then ran another 18 miles or something with no pain whatsoever. And as soon as I saw the finish line, the pain immediately came back, and I was in agony. And I basically limped over the finish line, tears in my eyes, all this kind of stuff. And then more recently, I've been doing some ultra running. And what I've learned through ultra running is basically my mind will circulate through phases. So I'll have phases of, I've done like 50 mile, 75 mile events. And you basically have phases where you feel great, phases where you're very euphoric, and phases where you feel completely defeated and like you can't possibly go on. And what happens is when you feel like you can't possibly go on, what I've learned is all you have to do is just wait, keep going, because in a certain period of time, that feeling is going to go. And actually, it's usually pretty quick. It usually just cycles through pretty quickly, and then you go back to feeling great. And now when I'm on a run and I'm feeling great, and I'm talking about endurance runs, not when you're, oh gosh, what's going on? Not when you're like burning out, you're like overloading your system and, you couldn't carry on if you're doing a sprint. You know, you can't just ignore the fact that your body's going, you can't carry on if you're doing a sprint, because you probably can't carry on. But on a kind of endurance run, where the pace is slower, but it's just kind of that constant grind, like, everything passes. So if you feel good, well, enjoy it, because it's going to pass, because you're going to feel crap at some point. And if you feel crap, well, you know, just hang on in there, because it's going to pass. And your body will send you, sometimes I think my body sends me pain signals when I'm not in pain, because it's just trying to get me to stop, because it's just thinking, my body's just going, I'm not enjoying this, can you just stop? Send it some signals to stop. And then if you don't stop, your body goes, oh, okay, right, we've got to do this then, have we? And then it just goes fine, and then it carries on. Now, obviously, there are actual injuries you can get, and you can make actual injuries much worse by doing that. So you have to know your body very well in other ways to understand, you know, what's a niggle, what's psychological, and what's an actual fucking problem. You know, and like, I can't describe to you how you understand the difference between those. I feel like I understand the difference between them for myself, and I think the evidence for that is that I haven't been injured in a really long time, and I used to get injured a lot because I've just learned so much about my body. Now, you might be thinking, what's all this got to do with being sober and not drinking? And I would say quite a lot, because I think it's basically, look, your brain, your body might try and trick you into drinking. You know, they might create, like, say for example, it might think, well, let's make you very stressed, or make you very tired, or make you very happy, or make you a certain way that might get you to drink. Or you might just have a difficult time, and if you have a difficult time, just fucking grind it out, because it will pass, no matter what. No matter how bad that particular moment is, it won't be the rest of your life. You're not going to wake up every day for the rest of your life in that difficult moment when you really want to drink. You know, if you're out and at a party and it's difficult, it's just one night of your life. You've just got to grind it out. It won't not be difficult. You know, you can't do those long runs and not have that moment when you feel defeated. You're never going to train yourself where you're just like, you know, smashing it. Like, you might have 1 in a million glorious runs where you're just smashing it out all the way. That can happen, but the odds are most of the time, if you go on a run, you're going to face a moment of kind of psychological defeat. And you just have to carry on. You carry on, and then it's done. And yeah, that's a kind of mindset and truth that I'm trying to bring into this thing with drinking. I haven't actually really faced any of these problems with drinking so far in, but you know, it's still early days. This is the 2nd week, so you know, weekend's coming, not too worried about this weekend. Still feeling good, guys, still feeling good. And I know you're concerned. Oh dear. Anyway, look, if you are watching, have a good weekend.